podcast. I'm your host with the least, Dan Cohen. I suck and I hate myself. I'm really bad at
Hey, that's my line.
No, you suck for different reasons. Don't interrupt me right now. I just wasted 5 minutes, all right? Now we're on board. Let's see. It says the America First Podcast. That's the show. How's the restream doing? Good, good. Twitch? What's wrong with Twitch? What are you wrong? What's your bitch, Twitch? What's your bitch with me, Twitch?
Twitch catch you multi-streaming?
Twitch allows for it.
Oh, I thought they didn't allow for it.
Well, they do as long as we don't make it obvious. Everything's allowed if nobody knows about it.
Yeah, it's like cheating in most games. Totally legal as long as you don't get caught.
Bingo.
Cheating and
I missed that. You cut out a little bit.
it works that way for school too, for cheating.
Exactly.
No. It's encouraged in school, actually.
The Twitch stream looks good to me.
It looks good to you?
Yeah, I'm right here. It's working.
Is it? No.
I can hear myself.
Can you hear me?
Yeah, I can hear you.
I'm so sorry for you then. Okay, well, I'm just going to do this. Yeah, authorize. Fine, do it. Go, you dumb bastard. I already said authorize like a billion fucking times. Anyway, now that I'm back in professional Dan mode, I am your host, and I am joined tonight by Jon Sinclair.
Yes, sir.
I am joined by Cenk Engels.
Back again.
That's the words I loathe to hear. And of course, I am joined tonight by two very special guests from the Cool Zone podcast, Cool Zone and Shea. Woo! Yay! Everybody clap.
Yay!
Woo, yay! You guys don't have to clap for yourselves. That's sad.
I clapped. That was me.
Clocked.
Oh, okay, good. Hey, somebody's watching us. And Cool Zone, you said you could see us on Twitch, right? So that's 2 viewers. We're doing great.
Powerful.
Right. Yeah, too strong. You know what? Actually, what happens is we get all our views on Facebook because we're old men.
It's true.
Yeah.
Deeply amusing. So like your cousin from Detroit's watching.
Yeah.
No, we'll eventually be watching.
Yeah. Tomorrow, when he's like, scrolling, and he's like, okay, this is a meme about white genocide. I like that. this one says the Jews caused COVID. I like that. What's this commie bullshit? Boo. And then they move on.
Yeah. And
Wait. So
consume
on
like 10
Facebook,
minutes
a
of it.
scroll counts as a view.
Yeah. We have to view
That's
it.
delightful.
See, that's why we're putting Marjorie Taylor Greene on this time because,
Yeah, she's popular.
yeah,
It'll trick them.
right. It'll force them to watch it for about 5 seconds. They'll get really mad. They'll leave a nasty comment. We'll, farm that way.
Okay, man, listen, you
all
gotta
news is
check.
good
I
news.
got a suggestion. Yeah, put so you know how you get the porn ad and it's like it's like she's just about upskirted or whatever. You gotta do like that and be like, click.
Well, right now we have our top scientists working on it. They have the reels going, and they're doing the data. Yeah. Nah. All right. So this is cool. So last week we just had Cool Zone. Now we get the full. The
full
dynamic
zone.
duo. Yeah.
It's
Yeah.
the full
Cool
zone.
zone.
Cool Zone, full zone. It rhymes.
Space, we're together, and it becomes the cool zone.
Yeah.
So congratulations, we're in.
Fine. We're cool. We're now
Cool.
cool.
Yeah.
Well, all right.
Oh.
I've achieved all my goals. Time to die. See you guys later. Have fun with the podcast, by the way. Tell me how it goes. Wait,
We
30
will.
or so years when you die. Oh, fuck. Yeah, so I don't know. What's rolling around? What's on your mind? We really don't. It's part of our policy. We don't have a plan. We just dialectically find things and we just start talking. So, what's on your mind?
Who's mine?
I don't care. I can't point at you guys right now. You're not in the same room as me.
We really should find a way to fix that.
Yeah, but I don't know. I don't want to deal with the Roadcaster again. That thing's pissing me off.
They make
that
body
bad.
pillows that you can microwave so that you can have a warm body pillow to lay on.
Wow.
Yeah, that's the only use of a body pillow.
Has
Is it
Has
cheap?
anyone considered? Oh, I realize the use of a body pillow now. Damn it!
What were you gonna say?
Whatever.
Well, like I will say,
I was
like,
gonna say, like, you can buy a dog and just cuddle your dog, and then
oh.
and then I thought about it.
No, when I was when I was small, I don't know, I'm a side sleeper, and so I needed something to like lean against in the night. So we got like a long, like just a blue pillow that had the shape of a body pillow, but it was just blue.
Right,
Yeah,
it's a body
fine for
pillow
that.
without the porn connotation.
Yeah, like as long as there's not porn on it, they're
Not bad
very
for birth.
normal. A lot of pregnant women get like a body pillow like that's just long. Some of them get the curve around, but a lot of them just get the long.
Yeah, no, my Twilight Sparkle body pillow is completely normal.
Yeah, totally.
Mm,
Underneath the Twilight Sparkle part.
mm, hmm.
Yeah, I still hold one in the. I still turn one of my pillows sideways, and I'll hold it because the dog refuses to cuddle me at night.
Hmm.
She's a brat.
I feel like you two are fucking them though.
No, why would I do what? Why?
Come on.
Only on days that end with Y.
Ah, there we go.
Got him.
G in the German calendar, right?
Oh,
You actually get a day off. You don't have to fuck them on Wednesdays. That's Mittwoch. I was being generous. I thought you were only fucking your Twilight Sparkle pillow 6 days a week.
Oh, okay.
You got to clean it 1 day a week. You know, to get the stuff off of it. Your ejaculate that you put on Twilight Sparkle.
Gotta let it have a break
Ooh.
one day.
The same
Poor thing.
pony cartoon that my daughter and I were watching yesterday. You know, fuck you for putting that image in my head.
Okay.
it's your own fault.
It's not my fault. You're the one who has to bring up that you're fucking your Twilight body pillow, and you're the one who's got to be like, yeah, it's normal.
Listen, who started this podcast?
It's me.
Yep, see, there it is.
All right, time to kill myself.
Got him. Got his ass.
We've been trying to get him to kill himself for 5 years. All it took was John's completely normal sexual proclivity.
Yes, that I definitely have. That I'm not making up this fucking straw man to disgust you with.
That explains why when we used to record over at my place, you were wearing a full fucking cosplay outfit at Twilight Sparkle.
Yeah,
That explains it.
Now I know.
We're so kind when guests are on.
Yeah, this is when we're mean to each other. In the side meetings, like, oh my god, so supportive. We're like best friends. On the show, fuck you.
That's showbiz, baby.
That's it.
That is showbiz.
You are the straw man, John. You just are the straw man because we burn your ass all the time. I'm sorry, I'm so tired and pissed off. I just can't think.
Oh no, they banned at Hereditary BPD, one of the greatest posters of all fucking time.
Oh, these sons of bitches and going too far.
Y'all see the ladies in the coats that go up to the bank window and they put a chisel in it and hammer on it, and then get arrested.
Yeah, that's a good one. Have y'all seen that, like Extinction Rebellion?
No.
Oh, so it's not landing with millennials on this
Should
side.
I?
No,
I'm not involved in any way with anything,
No,
basically.
you don't
so,
even
like,
know who
I'm
they are.
one of the
They're-
worst millennials.
No, that's fine. They're boomers mainly in the UK who do a thing called I can pull up the fucking website.
I'm looking at it right now. It looks really cool.
They're
Yeah,
funded by a few major banks and some lord. They just they-
Really?
yeah, they're open. If you could find their donors, they're not that quiet about it. Their whole deal is that you just tell the truth, and that like when you do an action with them, your job is to then get arrested, and you just sit still and wait for the police. And they'll be like, "Yeah, we're gonna break the glass on a bank," but they're all old white women, so they can't like bang on the glass, right? It's just this whole sad looking.
There's something so symbolic in these frail old women taking like a hammer and like a chisel and like just tapping at the glass for minutes until it breaks. It's like nobody's gonna do anything about this. I wonder why.
Yeah, it just reeked of like, not only did they not have any idea what they were doing, but like, because it was being filmed the way it was, and just the fact that like they were so open about wanting to get caught doing it and like be arrested. It's like, you guys are just posting. Like, it was
People around them were like,
post.
are they just shooting a movie or what a disaster.
I wonder what they think like the purpose of that is. Like, where does the praxis lie for them? Because nobody's looking at them on the street and knowing what's going on. Why are you
They're not doing like actual like financial damage if you believe in like that as praxis or whatever.
Yeah.
We don't endorse such behavior on this cast publicly.
They also do the Oh, yeah, go ahead.
No, I was just gonna say, like, it just so obviously reads as a post to anyone watching who isn't like terrified when one black person walks down the other side of the street. Because like, to somebody like that, it's terrifying, right? But you're not convincing someone like that either.
Are you watching the video, the replaying GIF under the replaying GIF, under Get Involved? There are no persons of color there, by the way.
Well, yeah,
all white women, all of them.
They have white people with dreads. But what I was going to say is they also say the really quiet part really loud that the white Buddhists love to do, which is about the 6th mass extinction, where they're like, you know, humans are causing the 6th mass extinction. I'm like, I don't give a shit. Like I care on a certain level that there are like, I don't know, fewer species of tiny frog in the Amazon. But like, that's not the issue of climate change. The issue of climate change is it's going to get real hot.
Yeah. And you can save that one species of tiny frog long enough to have it fucking boil with the rest of us.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
And it's all about like, here's how you know it's bullshit. Is they're all about like, well, we should live more moderately as humans. We should live within our means. I'm like, no, we shouldn't. Fuck your cruise ship, bro. Like, if you just didn't fly to Hong Kong every summer, we'd get another decade. Like, that's a clear 1-to-1.
Yeah.
It's like, well, isn't it because poor people throw away too much
majority.
trash?
Yeah, it has
No,
nothing
isn't the
to do
vast
with me.
majority of like shit that's polluting like carbon dioxide in our fucking atmosphere? Isn't that caused mostly by like coal burning power plants and that's
No,
Kinda, yeah.
It's mostly the military.
It's mostly the military's, yeah.
totally works. Yeah, sure, why
Yeah.
not? Of course it does.
All the consumers on Earth, all like 8 billion of us, do 7% maybe.
Yeah.
Like,
So you're telling me I
normal
can
life
keep
does nothing.
flying. So I can keep flying to Hong Kong every summer and it's going to be okay.
No.
No, because the airlines are counted differently.
Yeah.
Oh.
Airlines are like 5% on their own because what happens is they have to fly a route just to keep the route. So they're flying an empty plane if they want to.
Yeah.
Just like it's worth it to them to keep a route from, I don't know, Ulaanbaatar to London that flies empty 3 times out of 4.
Yeah, because they get to hold the rights to it or whatever.
Yeah,
But like,
yeah.
I don't know. The main thing about that is like, you know, it's sort of framed the same way that like now we have public information about how recycling is like 100% like started by, what was it like oh geez, who it was like it was like a corporate backed thing.
Yeah.
Right,
Yeah,
that was like
100%.
essentially
So, like, offload their responsibility onto consumers.
Yeah.
the idea that like we could all just act right in some way and it would get better is just pretty much incorrect, because this is like, well, I guess if you want to call the military industrial, but this is about like how modes of production work, and not like if you bought the fair trade coffee or whatever. You're the last end of this instead of like the only one. And
you mean me personally buying my coffee from not Walmart is not fixing the problem?
No, that has
Oh,
nothing.
damn.
That won't do anything.
Yeah, there's this guy that said this thing one time. He said something like, there's no good buying. Something like that, he said.
Yeah.
Is it no ethical consumption?
Yeah.
that, yeah, oh,
He said the thing.
That doesn't sound right. I disagree.
Well, it doesn't matter what color the cat is as long as it gets the job done. Black cat, white cat.
Yeah.
Going.
But the other thing this sort of reminds me of, that I made the connection between, is it's like it reminds me of food discourse in a sense.
I'm sorry.
No, it does.
It really does, actually.
I'm sorry. I'm just really feeling how stretched that segue was. It's hurting me.
No, it's not.
Fuck off. No,
That's
it's
a
actually
great segue.
stretched.
No, it does. It actually does remind. No. I'm with them. This does actually feel a lot like food discourse too.
Because the idea is supposed to be, and I'm going to connect this well. Fuck you, Dan. So
I'm just here to be an asshole. That's all I'm feeling tonight. Go ahead.
the reason this connects is because there's no moral difference between having a giant pickup truck and having like a smart car, one of those little like one-seater cars or whatever.
No, but there's a difference in your dick size. See, if you have the big truck, obviously it's huge. It's a massive dong. You need the truck to carry it around.
Or the truck bigger the
Well,
dick.
And
We also don't have evidence that rolling coal is any worse than me driving my 2004 Kia as long as you're not burning lead gas.
Bingo.
I mean,
Well,
you're definitely consuming more gas, right?
you could,
Maybe.
Diesel. It's diesel.
Yeah, but like you're still consuming more gas. Like
I mean, we're
it's-
never
it
going to run out of
literally-
gas, though. Like, it's not going to.
We are
we make
definitely
that
going to run out of gas.
connect-
There's a definite finite amount of gas.
I think we got that corn gas, and I don't know. I'm not concerned about running out of gas.
Corn gas doesn't turn into diesel, and like, yeah, I mean,
okay, so the point being though here is that there's no ethical difference, and the topic of what are the carbon emissions of a large lifted pickup versus some fucking I don't know, Volkswagen Bug or whatever, right? Like, yes, one does emit more carbon than the other. Point isn't that, but that doesn't make one morally better or not, because the choice to make a car or a pickup or whatever that has higher emissions is an industrial choice by a gigantic corporation that the government allows to do that, right? That's where the rubber meets the road, no pun intended, about like where these things need to be engaged with, not whether you fucking buy one or not, and what that says about you as a person. Similar to that.
you mean for retail consumption, right?
Yes. Yeah, however you want to put it.
Yeah,
That's fine. Here's
because like obviously farmers need pickups to move fucking farm equipment around or whatever.
Yeah.
like,
Yeah,
that's
well,
definitely
right, but
expected.
that again, that gets into there's no reason you couldn't at least very soon at least have an electric or an electric pickup. I think there's at least one company that's making that. There are pickups that are hybrid. I think Toyota makes them. This is beside the point though. Similar to how there's no moral difference between this pickup and this fucking Volkswagen Bug, there's no moral difference between a salad and fries and chicken fingers. Tendies are awesome.
Amen.
Amen.
There's no moral difference between those things. The fact that one like contributes to your fucking arteries clogging, most Americans at least at this point, is that we just subsidize corn a gigantic amount.
Amen.
Yeah, so
and-
stop eating those salads, America. You're killing yourself.
Well, corn's not in salad, notably.
You're just not making your salads right then.
That's right.
If you lived in Iowa, it would be.
Well, I was alluding to high fructose corn syrup.
Oh,
Oh,
get
okay.
I'm sorry, was that not clear? I should have made that more clear. I'm sorry.
oh my fucking god! You're going after my
Dude.
fucking sweet cancer.
When I was an armchair economist, if you didn't know, like half of those books are just about American ag, and it is like that's the most sickening shit. They're fucking dogs. And now my partner now is like they're a huge third wave feminist, but their big issue is like diet culture. And they've taught me so much about how diet culture is just the other side of the coin that is big ag.
Oh yeah. Oh
But
yeah, it
certainly,
is.
because it serves the same role of A, doing the morally just thing of protecting high fructose corn syrup, and B, shaming consumers for their consumption choices or lack of consumption choices.
And of course, this sort of ties in just as a brief note. What is one reason, at least in our current political situation, that will never ever fucking challenge big ag, right? And that is because, of course, Iowa is a very important state in presidential politics. At any given point in time in the Senate, at least 5 senators from both parties, so 5 a pop, like, are eyeing up Iowa because they want to be president at some point in the future, which means that if any of them ever even touch a bill that touches corn, they're fucked in Iowa immediately. And there's a bunch of other reasons. There's a bunch of other reasons that big ag is important, has lots of power, but that's the easiest reason without having to dig into anything.
Okay.
Listen, I may currently live in Appalachia, but I was born in Iowa City. I don't need you swinging around here with your anti-corn rhetoric. John, if you don't like it, you can get out.
Oh, what I'm hearing, if I'm hearing this right, is that what we will need is about 10,000 well-armed, well-capable fighters, and we're going to need a lot of guns because we're going to have to invade Monsanto and then the state of Iowa.
10,000.
Yeah.
Well,
Good
fortunately,
luck finding Iowa.
Fortunately, the derechos from climate change are just going to destroy Iowan agriculture in the next 2 decades. So I don't give a fuck.
No, we're going to seize that bread basket and we're going to use it properly. We're going to redistribute it.
And also, Che and the boys did Cuba with 14 men. So if you extrapolate the population of Cuba then to the U.S. today, we only need a couple thousand lads in the Appalachian Mountains, and we'll be all right.
See, I did the math. That's why I said about 10,000.
Yeah. Which is probably, if we got the Groypers, maybe Amy Therese is onto something.
Yeah. We can use them as a first wave, like a shock wave, to get shot at, and then we can.
Oh my god.
What? Oh, I'm sorry. Are we not going to talk tactics tonight? Are we not going to take things seriously? Are we just going to bash high fructose corn syrup? None of this bullshit is what the Sons of Tree is.
Yeah.
This is the PPW planning zone.
No, we're definitely bashing high fructose corn syrup, but of course,
Shut up! I've got my eyes on
every single
Iowa.
thing that I say, every single thing we say tonight is a complete joke. The joke is the fact that everything is a joke and that we say things seriously on this podcast. Hello, Mr. FBI agent listening.
Hi. How you doing?
Yeah, I forgot about that.
Yeah.
Hey.
Well, way to bring down the room. Thanks, God.
Legally, legally, every one of
legally,
these
are jokes.
Yes, legally, these are jokes.
Yes, I only have 9,000 men, so obviously it's a joke.
I don't think it's a crime to say. The only one that I know is a crime to say is the line about a president.
Oh yes, that's right. You can't say I'm going to assassinate Joseph R. Biden. You can't say that, and you shouldn't.
Did you just say that you went to assassinate Joseph Robinette Biden?
No, he did not. He said you cannot say.
Yeah.
He said that you cannot say.
I made it clear. That's something you can't say. You can't say that sentence while holding a high-powered rifle about 2 blocks away from the White House. You cannot. You can't.
Oh, now you're doing the whitest guys you know bit.
Yeah, shut.
Yeah, you know,
I was trying to steal some material. God damn it. Man.
Honestly, I thought you were just going to say it's illegal to call Biden the N-word, but I mean, I guess
it's legal to call him a dago, though, and he is.
Biden can say the N-word.
He is the king of them.
Yeah, he's king.
Yeah,
king of shit mountain.
I saw that interview with Charlemagne. He said he was king.
Yeah. He's also king of the wops.
No, it's king of a word I'm not going to say. He had the sash and everything.
What?
Yeah. You gotta go back and watch that Charlemagne interview. It was
really the one where he said, "If you don't vote me, you ain't black."
Yeah, and then he declared.
Yeah, that's exactly what he said.
Yeah. Then
he was right to say it. I'll be brave enough to say it.
Sorry, cool zone.
I'm no longer black. I actually almost got kicked out of school over that. I got really fucking mad at somebody for defending that, and I was like, "Yeah, no, this is the day I take a big L." So apparently, WAP comes from Spanish guapo for dandy.
Yeah.
Huh.
Yeah. Do you have the just as a side, before we continue on, I do want to hear more of you bashing the state I'll be in 2024 as a candidate, and you fucking asshole.
Iowa?
Yeah.
It's a
Fuck.
shithole. There's only two things in Iowa: cattle and corn, and that describes the fucking people.
Listen, once again, that wasn't a bit. I was born in Iowa.
Hey, I've got 3 exes live in Iowa. They're all either cattle or corn.
Good one.
Yeah,
Cattle
you're
or
being
vegetable.
well. Of course, cool zone means that non-metaphorically. When you die in Iowa, your body is mixed in with the corn threshers. And,
Exactly. Fertilizer.
Wait, I can become a fat Jewish lesbian?
Yeah, if you just wake up
Among Us.
tomorrow and say you're trans, a lot of people will go along with it. That's what I did.
Oh wow, the racial slurs database.
Yeah.
Like me, the guy
Right
who
on.
keeps it.
I wonder if it's blocked on my school website, my school Wi-Fi. Oh, it ain't blocked. Oh, it's loading. Yeah.
Okay,
loading.
wait.
no,
Yeah.
it'll almost certainly load. The only time I got in trouble,
Went off.
the only time I ever got in trouble with my school's internet was when I fucking started torrenting The Sopranos back at home, went back to school, the torrent kept going, and my school kicked me off the internet in like 0.5 seconds and made me sign a piece of paper saying I'd never torrent again.
Yeah, that's what happened here. No, you got to hear this fucking story. So my dumbass fiction teacher, like 10 years ago, teaches the whole school about bootleg one day when he's trying to watch a movie in class, and he's just like, "Yeah, okay, well, I can't get to pull up here. You guys go home or go back to your dorms or whatever, and pull up this exact link on your fucking iPad or whatever, and you will be able to watch whatever you want for free." And then, like, within a week, the whole school was using it. Only thing was they all got viruses. took down the network. And so now IT makes us all do this whole song and dance about how we will never, absolutely never pirate.
See, that's why I lived off campus. I pirated everything in Minecraft.
Yeah, but
No.
I like
That's a good meme from this week.
Yeah.
I met these two because I went to college in the same town that they live, and in my school's like in my department's classroom, someone's like, I gotta watch that the Steelers game there, and he brought up the Steelers game on some fucking like bootleg website and like project it. You use the classroom computer to project it onto the screen on that the teacher would use to do that, and got tons of viruses. And I knew the IT person. He came in to fix it, and he's like, why the fuck did this guy do that? This thing just has a TV, and he switched the channel to it. He switched the channel to the Pirates or the whatever fucking Pittsburgh team it was. But yeah, I always thought that was fucking dumb. At least because they can't tell you it's okay. Of course, you can go on whatever fucking porn website you want, but you can't. God forbid you watch The Sopranos for free or whatever, some fucking 10-year-old show.
Yeah, they don't block porn, which is odd considering they said specifically, please never view porn on the school website.
Okay.
They said please. Please. They don't want you doing it.
Okay, some of these slurs suck. Now, some of them are great. Ace of Spades, good one. Some of them pretty bad.
10% off is right now my favorite.
My question is, so there's a slur on here for Antarctican people.
Mhm.
What is it?
Ant?
Yeah.
Oh,
Are there like Antarctican people? Did I not know about this?
Certain types of indigenous would count, but
nobody
that's
is
because,
indigenous to Antarctica.
That's because they're really down to the bottom of like South America. That's all.
Oh, okay.
We're talking about races here. How Come on, like you're like, I better apply logic and reason to a race. Hold on.
I like advanced racism myself. Intellectual kind, what with measuring your skull and your feet.
Yes, the immortal science of phrenology, correct. Jewish is
Okay.
Hispanic.
Well, it's funny that they're so proud as to say that the Jews are a race, which they are.
Yes.
They're Cashew, which is a Catholic Jew, the child of a Jew and a Catholic.
Aw.
Oh my God, a
Wow,
dial.
that's really specific and describes me.
Dial is in soap because they made Nazi soap out of the fat of burned Jews. There's somebody who collects soap made out of dead Jews, right?
Yes. Yeah.
There's
These are all
at
made
least-
up.
There's at least two. No, there's at least two fucking people. It's like the most fucked up mind game that I play is find any product in a store and imagine who the imagine their top buyer.
Yeah.
Oh man, you'll make yourself sick real quick. Kosher consumer.
I prefer Jesus Killer. That's my favorite.
Well, Jesus was just a super Jew, if you think about it.
Yes. Yeah, he was the most Jewish among us. That's why he was like, I'm not Jewish anymore.
Yeah. I did an accidental hate crime the other day because I said I didn't like matzah.
No one wants to talk about the fact that Jesus Christ actually looked like Woody Allen and sounded like.
Hey, listen, Woody Allen, best director. I love Woody Allen. I think he's great. Did he marry his kid? I don't know. It's none of my business.
Oh God, yeah. You don't have to like matzah. I don't. How is that a hate crime? Who are you talking to?
I just posted. I was like, matzah just don't taste so good, and then someone was like, yeah, because it's not for you. So I figured if I had a Jewish soul, I'd like matzah.
Well, they got you there. It's not, it's kind of it's a whole thing.
Some of these are, if you say it a certain way, it sounds like a slur. It's funny.
If you say anything the right way, it sounds like a slur.
Like what?
That fucking pencil.
Them fucking pencils coming in here across the border, bringing their
Always bringing their
pencil
lead.
shavings.
Well, Jesse Jackson was apparently very anti-Semitic toward New York City, which tracks.
Yeah. I'm sorry, John. You wanted to have a serious talk about how fucking up my chances in 2024. Please continue.
No, actually, that was mostly it. Other than to mention again that these things don't have moral differences, but like a huge portion of the reason that Americans' hearts fucking clog like crazy is because we need something to do with all this corn that we harvest, and the thing that we end up doing with it is just putting high fructose corn syrup in like fucking everything. And this will speak to our guests a little bit. And one thing that I always find funny about this dynamic is that that we talk all the time about how China state subsidizes its manufacturing and how that's unfair. But like, what the fuck do we do with agriculture? Like, our entire thing is that the government just buys corn from farmers, and that there is no bigger group of people that benefit from essentially welfare and tax cuts than farmers.
Yeah.
And
like,
that's
actually terrible for farmers.
Yeah, no, it ends up being bad, and like we pay a bunch of farmers not to harvest as much in certain seasons, and there's all sorts of just horrible, perverse incentives that the government essentially runs how farming works in this country.
Yeah, that's why it's all consolidated so heavily, and now a lot of farmers are no better off than their grandparents who were sharecroppers because capital has just advanced to the point that it just needs one guy to run like I don't know 500,000 acres.
Yeah.
And no, I was just going to say I think this applies more to extensive farming than intensive, but like, with intensive farming, the way we solve that is we just have people come from south of the border up to pick and do the grueling work, whether it be like lettuce or strawberries or whatever, right? And we just have them come up and do that, which is part of the reason that, like, these immigration bills, as much as Republicans are total hawks about immigration, there's only so much they can do, because the fact of the matter is that labor is never getting any cheaper than that. And the idea that we're going to have white people do it and like even pay them just minimum wage to do that, like, that's not fucking happening.
Oh,
I mean, that's why culture war bullshit will never win.
Yeah, I tell you.
Go
ahead, Trey.
It's a material necessity for the bullshit they're trying to wage war on. Like even for like progressive stuff, I reckon. You have to have a sort of like liberal advancement nowadays in order for people to kind of stem the tide of whatever consciousness they might be gaining, or to be more complacent with whatever is going on, in order for capital to still function. So there's never going to be like culture war thing that's going to fall back, because there's either an economic reason or like a superstructural reason that has to justify its own base.
Hey, mister. Okay, stop with that superstructure shit. I tell you. Yeah, from an area with two. So agriculture is technically the largest industry in South Carolina, but in reality, that is only hog farming and chicken houses, basically. And basically what happens here is the only people that are willing to work in a chicken house are teenage boys and illegal immigrants. So like my county, huge illegal immigrant population, obscene. Not obscene. They're great people. I'm glad they're here. But what happens is that like there's a whole like NGO church industrial complex that is built up around saying we need to like support conservatives, and then turning around and like defending the shit out of our illegal immigrants, or because that like they're their parishioners, and also it's like without them we wouldn't have any jobs. Does that make sense?
Yeah.
It's so fucking it's like really it's really gross, because it's like now we're looking at it with like restaurants, right? Where it's like all these dumb piece of shit hole restaurants are like, well, we're just gonna lay off half our staff for COVID and run everybody like a fucking dog to keep up with this increased demand. And then now they're coming back and they're like, oh my god, we have to hire more people, we have to expand and do like this, that, and the other. And it's like they're not raising wages. Like they're not doing the basic thing that they're supposed to do, but they expect you to come work and probably die of COVID. Like it's so
nobody wants to work because they won't raise the wages.
Yeah.
Because it's fucking $7.50 to go work in McDonald's, and they're gonna get their fucking 50 hours out of you and call it part-time. Like just dog shit.
Well, if you work full time, they can reward you by taking away your lunch hour and paying you an extra 20 minutes.
Oh yeah, they can. They can also have 16-year-olds working the fryer, I've learned.
Oh yeah. Oh shit, yeah, dude. I used to work at a McDonald's. There's nothing to slap that little 16-year-old's ass on that fryer. Also, it's incredibly sexist the way they divide labor up.
Yeah. Now I will tell you, fellas, if anybody's working at a restaurant, I can tell you a way to make a whole lot of money right quick and in a hurry. Get you a cup of delicious ice water, pour that shit in that fryer, and turn around, buddy. Everybody gets a paycheck today. But see, that's the other thing. They're so heavily monitored for no fucking reason. Like they've got cameras. Like the manager doesn't do shit except watch a fucking camera these days.
They run some numbers. Yeah, it's fucking. Their two jobs are to watch that camera to make sure you're not stealing a piece of food on a shift that you can't eat on, and then the other purpose is to literally just order supplies. That's it. They are an Excel spreadsheet and a security camera.
All for the low price of $8 an hour.
What did my manager make back in 2005? My manager made $12.50 to my 7.
Wow.
Yeah.
All that. You're
So
gonna be a
much
fucking
easier.
slave driver for $4.
Keep it
$12.50.
Yeah, but keep in mind, as part of my compensation package, that's how it was termed, right? I got a meal that was valued at less than, at the time, $3, and I
See,
could.
that's what
Wow.
that's what else gets me is the food is like the cheapest part of their whole bit.
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean the number one thing in restaurants is loss, like food loss, both
Yeah.
from theft, which is not actually as big, but mainly from like wastage, right?
Yeah.
If you
There's no
over
such
order
thing.
food and it goes bad, you fucked up.
So just
Yeah.
feed it to the fucking employees. Who the fuck cares?
Yeah, but like that's a cost, right? So that's still there's an inherent cost to that, even if the employees get the food, which often they did.
That's one of them. Now keep in mind that $12.50 an hour person. Not only do they have to work more shifts than me for $12.50 an hour, but they had to work longer hours. Some of them from literally open to close, and it was not uncommon for them to work a 7, whereas it was uncommon for a rank and file to work a 7. They would mostly make us work 6s, but then if there was a call off, the person who was on their 7th day would almost invariably get the call. And there was almost always a call off because I don't know if you know this, but if you work 6 days a week, you're fucking tired of smelling like grease and shit and not eating because you can't eat before your shift. What if you got to shit while you're at work, right? That bathroom, you're not supposed to be using the one. You're not supposed to be using the one the customers use, right? If you use that one, oh boy, you got to do a whole song and dance. There's a checklist involved, and it's embarrassing, right? So you basically try not to eat so you don't shit. That way, all you have to do is piss because it's easy, real quick, to rip those gloves off and take a piss, right? Unless you don't have a dick, and then like, you're really fucked. You can't eat at all, right? Um,
Yeah, I've never worked, so I actually have no fucking clue. This is
Oh.
eye opening for me and terrifying.
Yeah. Never mind the fact that they give you this embarrassing fucking Bic razor, right? If you fucking have any facial hair, because you have to shave while you're there with this fucking Bic razor that just chops your fucking face off. Yeah. That everybody has to use. And it's entirely a fucking insulting ritual. You can't, if you have facial hair when you get there, if you cut it, you lose it. If you cut, you can't grow it back. Otherwise, you got to use the Bic. If you don't have it, you got to keep it off. You don't use the Bic. So functionally, the cost of razors is now a part of your operations. Like you have to be shaved to go to work at McDonald's, right? You got to look nice while you're. And mind you, when I said there was a discrimination, if you are an unattractive female presenting person, if the
Getting in the
manager,
back.
yep, if your manager is discriminatory, so like we had one what we would now call a trans employee, right?
Mhm.
Oh yeah, that got discriminated against the shit out of.
Mhm.
Back with the boys. That one was always back with the boys. And then like someone like me, I preferred to clean. Like I'm better
Yeah,
with
hell
a
yeah.
bucket and a mop. Just am. I'm better with a bucket and a mop. I get under
I
the
feel
fucking
that.
tables.
That's
So what
how
do
I
they
am.
do? I'm a boy. I present as a boy. My ass is in the back. Yeah.
Man, I will tell you though, living in the South, my mom used to be a hiring manager at a doctor's office, like the last local doctor's office that hasn't consolidated into the big statewide thing. Anyway, one thing that happened more often than I'd like to admit as a trans person is that like trans women would apply because a lot of them were like mechanics. I don't know why. It's just what they were. And they got sick of being a mechanic because it's a misogynistic job, and they'd apply to get like work in the doctor's office because you don't have to have anything beyond a high school diploma to do doctor office paperwork.
Sure.
And they tell them no because all the women there were pricks.
Oh yeah.
Like all the women there would have hate crimed them far worse than the fucking mechanic.
Yeah. And like I gotta tell you, like let's be fucking real. 2005 in rural Pennsylvania, it's
Fuck
not.
that.
Yeah, it's not like any of us were friendly, but when they would just keep shoving this fucking poor girl in the back with us, we're like, what do we do? Like, socially, like, we're sorry.
Yeah.
Like,
Yeah.
I know what they're doing. There was an overweight girl they used to always shove in the back too, and we knew why. So we would like, you know, we weren't dicks, but like obviously, like in 2005, what sensitive constituted was, oh,
I mean, my
oh.
question, my question is like, what's the reason for all this? Can there really be that much more profit involved in like not having ugly people at the counter in McDonald's? Like,
No,
I'm
it's
a
'cause
technician.
eye candy. You want to
You
fuck?
say
You're a horny
you want to fuck
manager.
at McDonald's? Like,
Yeah.
I just
Yeah.
want to get my food. But I guess it's gotta be sexy. I guess it's gotta be sexy. But like, I work at an independent pharmacy. I'm a technician, and old owner got in financial trouble because DEA loves to come after independent pharmacies. Um, and so we got bought out by, luckily, well, one good thing a capitalist ever did for me was not sell that pharmacy to CVS for like twice the amount of money. Um, and so we sold it to these like group, I guess, who owns a bunch of independent pharmacies up and down the East Coast. And it's, they changed a whole store. They move all the desks around. They move all the counters around. They install cameras everywhere, microphones in them. And it's like, do you think people are coming to like an independent pharmacy because it's like it's clean and it's modern? It's like, no, these are all like 70-year-old people who like to spend 30 minutes talking to the pharmacist. And in an independent pharmacy, you have time to do that,
Yep.
And so they just don't seem to know, like, or there just seems to be all these arbitrary aesthetic decisions that capitalists always make, and that a lot of money sunk into.
I know why they sink that, actually. My father, when he could still walk relatively well, worked with basically this guy who operated entirely under the table. So it was a black market operation. Um, they go in whenever they buy something like that and remodel it immediately to just add up the tax breaks. It has nothing to do with their fucking like all that aesthetic shit is just entirely a fucking, like, some of it's branding, most of it is like if we rearrange the store, we get to compound more of our tax breaks for longer.
Yeah. We got a McDonald's off of one of the main roads in the town where I live, and they just demolished a perfectly good McDonald's and built a new one right in the same spot.
Yep. Yeah, they do shit like that all the time. We had one that was only drive through only for a while because they were remodeling the interior because the owner didn't want to give up those yearly tax breaks. He remodels them like every year unless he's closing a location and opening a new one.
I
Like,
remember
Wow.
that place. That place should have been closed for that remodel. That was crazy. They had like all the like weird like plastic wrap around the place as they were doing it. The employees would take your orders in the sun. It was, yeah, that whole thing was
yeah.
Oh man, that's what happens at the ChickFilA here.
Mhm.
Ugh.
they do that here in
ChickFilA
Arizona too.
Which, when you think
It's
about it, is like
garbage.
kind of cruel.
Well,
Like,
it's
they do it
cruel
for like
and
the
it's
customer
not
service
more
sake.
efficient. There's no
Not.
additional efficiency in having these three admittedly lovely ladies come to my door and take my order in this way when I still have to go through the choke, which is the window, and the fact that the three black people that work here are in the back cooking. And they can't cook chicken, but it's so fucking fast.
Mhm.
Yeah, there's a lot of this embarrassing fucking bullshit and like
But now here's a question: why does some fast food establishments overhire? Like, why does Chick-fil-A overhire?
Because statistically, you lose most of those people.
yeah.
Yeah,
quit.
it's just so many people quit. They don't. It's like when they overbook flights because so many people miss their fucking flight that the chances that you actually end up in a situation where like the number of people who actually booked flights show up is really rare.
Yeah.
If you remember that video of the guy like freaking out because he got dragged off the plane, like that's what happened in that situation.
And the cop just beat the shit out of him because they
Yeah,
inquiring.
No, the thing that was funny about that is like what's supposed to happen in that situation is that the airline is supposed to just offer continually larger amounts of money to try to basically bribe somebody to volunteer to miss the flight. And they're like, wait a minute, no, we can just have a cop beat the shit out of somebody. Like we can just volunteer somebody
Yeah.
in a lottery and do that.
Yeah.
So that's what they did. Of course they did that because the alternative was to just like try to pay someone 10 grand to get off the flight or whatever.
Yeah. No, now they can just have you beaten. Sure. It's fucking fantastic. Capitalism's God, such an innovative system. I just love innovation.
Yeah, that's why we got a new iPhone this year. It's purple.
Oh shit!
It does stuff none of the other ones do, like be purple.
That's why for all our tough talk, we really do love the job creators, folks. We really do love all of them.
Love them.
because-
Yeah,
Got a better camera on it this year.
my favorite thing is when we use federal scientists to come up with shit, and then we sell that patent to a random firm, and the firm gets to produce the shit, and the government never gets any money, and the scientist is alienated from his labor.
Yeah, not a fucking dime. Not a fucking dime. It's a beautiful thing. It's a beautiful
Company. What'll happen a lot here is company will buy $250,000 worth of a chemical that takes a guy that gets paid $50K a year to turn into like a couple $1 million worth of product.
Yeah.
And it's one guy in the whole plant that actually does the math to do that, and everybody else in the plant is like his toy. And then that guy just loves to quit or die, and then the plant closes in 6 months.
Oh, dude.
Uh,
It's a fucked up and depressing system. What are we at time-wise? Oh, damn. We're doing real good. We're cruising right along. Fucking A. Fucking A. I don't like British people.
I don't like Brits either. I like the Irish more. I think that we should give Cornwall back to Cornwall. We should give Wales back to Wales, Scotland, and then break up what's left of England and give it to real people.
Yeah.
And also give back Northern Ireland.
I heard nothing offensive there.
I make my girlfriend a bunch because she's Scotch-Irish and I'm like actually Irish, and I keep joking with her because like she's like, oh well, we're both Irish. I'm like, no, you're not. I'm sorry, you're part of the part that got ethnic cleansed into being in Northern Ireland, and then
We call that a paper patty around here.
I've never heard that term. So it's I'm generally speaking, I'm against anti-Irish racism. I think we were sharing that racial slurs database. Any of the slurs that are against Irish people, as an Irish person, I'm giving you personal permission to say those slurs, but only if it's a Scotch-Irish person, i.e. a Northern Irelander.
So you have to blood test them first and measure their skulls.
Or you could just be in Northern Ireland, and I think you're safe at that point.
Oh, okay, yeah, that is the ideal
Since
way
when
to
is
do it.
Pogue a slur?
I don't know.
It says Pogue is
How do you spell that?
Pogue.
Huh.
Thick Mick. That sounds fucking. I didn't mean a thick Mick. You know, a lot of these slurs are just something and then nigger at the end.
Yes.
Pizza nigger.
You're starting to see how
My roommate is black. He shut up when I said that.
Jeez.
yeah, you're starting to see how uninventive white people really are. I think you could literally just for all these just like put the name of the fucking racial group and then just the N-word at the end and like, oh, look how clever I was.
It's a good one.
Antarctican.
It says border nigger for Mexicans. That's funny.
Jesus Christ.
Oh man, I had to explain to someone why you can't use the verb. Is it a verb? Gypped.
Oh yeah.
Oh yeah. You're
a
not
lot of
supposed
people
to do
don't
that one.
learn that until late in life.
Yeah. I don't know. I just remember the first time I interacted with a Gypsy Woman. She told me she loved me at first sight. We got married. We had kids 3 years into the marriage, and then about 8 years into the marriage, she said, I don't. The spark is gone, and we filed. We filed for divorce. It was relatively amicable, and then by the time the divorce proceeding was done, I found she had stolen my purse. So,
That's why you're a Nazi
I
now.
just want to make the point real quick that I don't get along with Roma people because we're better at stealing children than they are, and they keep trying to take credit for that, and we're better at that. We're the goats at that. I'm sorry, you can't copy us. Whatever.
hmm That's why I will fight to the death to make sure my identity is Jewish. Greatest at it. Pioneers of the sport.
Here's a fun quirk of theology that I think is funny. When you so if you were to convert to Judaism, they wouldn't say that you really converted. They would say that your soul was always Jewish and you just realized it at a certain point.
Is that what you would say?
Yeah, that's what they say. That's the same. We Catholics do the same thing. There was a whole big deal, actually. Fuck. I'm forgetting it. There was a chronically online theologian in like the 90s and early aughts whose whole thing was like you were always whatever the religion was. You just hadn't realized it yet.
Wait till you find that. Wait till you find that one. Yeah,
Pineapples, what?
pineapples grow there, so obviously the slur is.
Oh, I'm right. Actually, I'm right there. It's right above poi. Now, taro is delicious in boba tea, so I have nothing against Hawaiians for that.
Yeah, fair enough. But I also like how if you go 3 up from pineapple, you get the lava, and then like Jesus Christ, lazy. They're so goddamn lazy. Yeah. By the way, John, this is the show now. We're just gonna look at the racial slur database and laugh about it. Bargain Korean. I love any of them with discounts in it. Like it just reveals the capitalism behind the fucking situation.
Spandex.
Yeah, 10% is what I want to be called now. That's I prefer.
Po bean. Po bean when they're too poor to be called a beaner, it says.
Jesus Christ. Oh, napkin. Wait.
It's just words.
Just no, it's what's at the end. It's the word after napkin.
Oh, I see. Yep. I just. Yeah.
You're like, I better find it.
No, let's look this one up. Yeah.
FBI, foreign-born Irish. ABC. Oh, have you guys ever seen the X-Files?
You've been really on this X-Files kick
I
recently.
am so on the X-Files kick. Okay. Like,
yeah, tell me about it. I love the X-Files.
Oh my God. Okay. All right. Sister from another mister. All right. That's what I want to hear. Okay. Have you seen the episode where B.D. Wong plays plays a Chinese detective in Chinatown as they're investigating this fucking gambling operation?
Yeah, Hell Money.
Hell Money. Thank you. One of the worst episodes of the show, by the way. Hands down, just an awful episode. But I love when he's real defiant because he's clearly doing much better financially than all the other immigrants, right? Because he's not an immigrant. They're vested. He's doing so well financially. He has a government job, right? I love when he's just like, he just impassionately, he's just like, they call me ABC, American-born Chinese. Like that, yes. Aren't you though? Like like you're so worked up right now. Like,
yeah, it's like
why are
this
you?
is similar to this is kind of fuck it. This is gonna get me canceled. This is kind of similar to my whole like, how the hell could Oprah possibly experience racism theory?
I agree with you.
I just feel that once you're rich enough and or you just accumulate well enough, you could not possibly experience racism.
I've actually talked about this, and I get a lot of either A, you're class reductionist, or B, you're a crypto fascist, right? Have you seen the Vice articles? Like there were dueling Vice articles the one day. One was one I thought was accurate, right? That was whites cannot experience systemic racism, and the other one was you can't be racist to whites. And I was like, well, cracker, I just did it. So like, okay, but
well, it's like,
Like,
so the thing about it is, you legitimately can't be racist to white people. Like
you,
what? Like cracker doesn't offend anyone.
well, that's the thing. Like, you can do it. It just doesn't fucking matter. Like, the
Yeah.
lack of a system of like when you talk about Oprah. Well, if you think about it, number one, the American system is built to support rich women just being absurd, right?
Mhm.
I'll break that down if that's contested, but I mean cishet women.
Fair.
Again, willing to break it down if anybody needs that one to be contested. But number two, yes, Oprah is a black woman. I have no doubt in my mind that at some point somebody has said a slur to Oprah, right? But she has $20 billion. How
A
much?
slur is yeah, like a slur is just a funny word. Like
Well,
it makes you. It's a microaggression, I guess, or it's
yeah,
something bigger than microaggression. Because I guess a microaggression is when a woman that you've been talking to is like, yeah, I think you're really cute because you're black, and so I know you have a large penis. And I'm like, yeah, you can't say that.
yeah, yeah. Like it is like I'm not gonna argue that it's not bigotry, but what I am gonna argue is that like it didn't do anything. The material conditions didn't change. Your life was not irreparably fucking destroyed by it. Like if Oprah has lost a job at some point in her life, she now has $20 billion. It's irrelevant that she lost that job. And even if she only had 18 billion, I would make the same argument. You know what I mean? Like if that job cost her individually $2 billion, let's say she should have 22 billion right now. And because of racism, she only has 20 billion. Okay. So what's the fucking problem? She has 19 point X billion more than me. She's fine.
For
What's that?
sorry, no, I cut out completely. I think I lagged because I was making a point and then I think I cut back in.
Oh,
Anyway,
I thought you were just calling me a nerf herder, and I was like, what the fuck? The Star Wars?
no,
related?
no, no. uh,
Deep
the
cut.
point that I was going to make with Oprah is that Oprah, I think it's a combination of being super rich and famous because like any cop that pulls her over is going to know immediately that Oprah is who she is, and then not act that way.
Well, yeah.
I think
What are
it's
you gonna?
possible to be super.
Are you gonna shoot Oprah on a police like murdering? Like when the cops like it's my day to murder a black guy per the chart. Like you're gonna shoot Oprah? Come the
No,
fuck
well,
on.
that's the point. No, that's the point. Is that it a part of it includes uh being being so famous that like cops would like associate you with like your fame and maybe stop treating you the way that they would treat somebody that they pulled over randomly. Of course, I wouldn't say it's impossible for a very rich black person to experience racism, but they have all of the means to like avoid it as much as they want.
I want to make it clear that that's not at all what I said. I said that they absolutely could. It just at $20 billion, does it fucking matter?
Well, yeah, and Oprah. So, like, I guess another example of this is like, like there's the joke about the black district attorney who gets pulled over by a cop, and the cop is like being an asshole, and the black district attorney gets him fired. But the difference between these two is that Oprah is fully subsumed into the spectacle. Oprah is very necessarily part of society writ large. And when Oprah dies, she will just be replaced by someone else who does that role on behalf of the spectacle. So it's like she's immortalized in multiple ways and protected in multiple ways. But the most critical one here is that like she represents so much wealth that is like incomprehensible. So she's essentially the color of money.
Yeah.
Because at least the one you didn't recognize because they're new, and the Oprah, you knew it was Oprah.
Right, and that's the thing. That's a dimension of all these fucking isms and all these bigotries that are really kind of ignored. Is that if you're at the top of the fucking hierarchy, how in the fuck can systemic racism actually affect you? You're the one who's perpetrating it. So like casual racism, sure. Again, I don't doubt there could literally be staff members on her show who, under their breath, just call her that word all the fucking time, or call her, all sorts of fucking anti-woman slurs, right?
Oh, yeah.
Like a whole fucking slew of them. And will it mean dick all? No. She could at any moment just literally be like, that one grabbed my ass, and have them fired. How is anybody going to fight back against that accusation? Shit, she could just be like, oh, they called me N-word, so I fired them. Argue it. You think the courts are gonna like fucking make Oprah restore that fucking loss?
Yeah.
Who's got the
they're
money to fucking win that Oprah lied? Like she has too much power. So any casual racism to her is just that. It's casual. You can't. Again, the
Yeah.
worst you can do is deny her what $2 billion out of. Oh my God, she just has $20 billion. She just has a media apparatus to attack you back with. Like, I
Yeah, I agree. I mean, I agree. Like, I would say it's a microaggression unless you can enforce it. And
Yeah.
9 times out of 10, if you can't enforce it, I'm just not going to consider it all that racist.
Well, I mean, at some point, how do I put it? I guess the example I would have is like my grandfather. He would go to the mat for how you can't mistreat black-bodied persons. Unfortunately, the words he would choose to use to express that
Oh, that's a funny bit, though. That's a hysterical bit. Very woke grandpa who just cannot stop saying the N word. Oh my god.
Oh well, yeah. I mean, that was the thing though. Like he really was like in that mentality. Like, oh, that's just the thing you call them. But at the same time, he would be like, no, they're cutting their jobs, they're cutting their pay, they're fucking putting them in prison over bullshit reasons. You know how many white dudes I seen smoking pot? This is all a fucking joke. This is just because the cops are like the favorite line was him back in like 2005. The cops are racist because they're putting these boop away for fucking weed. And it's like, I know what you're saying, but please don't.
Just say it differently, Grandpa, please.
You could just say black and this would all be fine. Like you could actually like, but then like the other thing, the other one that killed me, I can remember in '08, I watched a guy and his cousin get in this huge fight over the Obama $25 FAC payment. And
What is that?
the FAC payment when you were unemployed in 2008 to 2010, if my memory's serving me right, you got an extra $25 a week. That was the equivalent of the
Oh.
bonus 600 now. Okay, on unemployment benefits. And I just remember these two white dudes, and one of them was like, you know, of course, like the standard Obama is this gay cross dresser who's blowing dudes in the back, and he's every fucking slur you can think of, and he's a piece of shit. And the other one is like repeating the same language, and he's like, yeah, motherfucker's getting you 25 extra bucks a week, and your fat lazy ass doesn't do anything. Like I'm flabbergasted. Like I'm saying this woke Twitter must be fucking with my brain because I'm like, I know the guy on the left was definitely not being racist, but boy, there's the fucking terminology hurting. Like the terminology was not like I was like, this is really cringe, but you're entirely correct. He is getting you more money, and he's done more than what a Republican do, which is go fuck yourself, you fat white dude. You disgust me and should be harvested for your organs and blood so that I can keep Rush Limbaugh alive. I don't know, man.
I always wonder about like why was Obama like riddled with these like other like derogatory things? Like everybody thought that Michelle was a cross-dresser, and everybody thought
Right.
that he was like Muslim. And
Yeah.
and I remember
Well, he was.
I was
He's a
thinking-
member of Hezbollah. the
right.
Army
You're
of
right.
God.
You're right.
So please don't disparage the Army of God. Oh,
And
you don't know Hezbollah?
No, I'm back.
know
Sorry,
Hezbollah.
I had to pour out some I had to do something real quick.
Oh, that's okay. Hold on. Let me find the PragerU video on why Hezbollah is badass.
For the Army of God, yeah, I
Wow.
got that.
is that like a meme screen cap?
No, I just watched their video. When listing the world's most notorious terrorist organizations, why is it that Al Qaeda, ISIS, and Boko Haram so quickly spring to mind while Hezbollah is frequently forgotten? In this video, Tony Badrin, research fellow at the Foundation of Defense of Democracies, explains how the backing off of Iran has served to legitimize Hezbollah around the world. It's a 5-minute propaganda video about how great Hezbollah is, to the point that I think Hezbollah paid PragerU to make it.
Hezbollah owns. I'm all for the.
Thank you.
I'm all for it. Yeah, I love Lebanon.
Yeah. It's
The Lebanese people are powerful people.
if you play this video with the Metallica song Four Horsemen playing in the background, you will like immediately join Hezbollah.
Are we allowed to say that Hamas owns?
Yeah, Hamas is cool.
I'll allow it.
What other one do I like? I like the Revolutionary Army of Iran. They're very good people. I like the Brave Mujahideen Fighters. Afghanistan, you know, they stood up to revisionism. They are actually very based.
Oh, here we go.
Listen, because they shot revisionist people, they were good and based.
Here we goddamn go.
Who else? I support freedom in Tibet from hateful capitalist China.
John, if you're
Wormtongue
taking
did
notes.
nothing wrong.
What? What'd you say?
John, if,
Wormtongue did nothing wrong.
Oh. Funnily enough, I know I've had supper with Ollie North from Contra a few times.
Jesus Christ.
Grew up. Yeah, I just know Ollie North. What else was I going to say? Hong Kong belongs to China. Taiwan belongs to China. Tibet does not belong to China.
Yes, I agree with all three of those. I was curious what you were going to say about Tibet, honestly.
Well, the thing about Tibet is that's just an example of Han chauvinism. Once China is no longer socialist, I don't give a shit. I think that they have to I think that they have to let go because Tibet deserves the right to self-determination, which is being withheld from them.
Okay, yeah, okay, that was now it's just boring.
Which is why Mongolia was technically still the USSR after the USSR fell, because Mongolian self-determination said that they just didn't. It took them a while to rename.
Good on them.
Yeah, they were cool.
Mm-hmm.
Well,
anyway, going on with the Hezbollah joke. It was funny.
No, it's fun. It's not a joke. I mean, you just need to listen to the Four Horsemen from Metallica. You watch that video. PragerU has gotten another kickback from getting another agent of Hezbollah signed up.
Nice.
Yeah, it's bad.
Man.
And
I'm thinking of the Shia-Sunni divide now. Fucking man. If I was gonna become Muslim, because I did consider it when I was considering becoming Catholic, I wanted to be a Sufi so bad.
Wait, are those the ones that beat themselves with the swords?
Sufis do a lot of different shit. Sufi literally just means that you're a Muslim mystic. That I think is and I think shit. There are Sufis on both sides, but most all Sufis are Shia.
I can still get
Really?
the status of Imam.
Okay, so are there is there a Shia population in the United States? Because like, isn't part of the whole thing that like you have to have your imam be descended from Muhammad? So that are all of those descendants in the Middle East?
No, we have Shia in the U.S. and in the U.K. It's not remarkably harder, I don't think, because you have to think like your imam. You're not always with your imam.
Yeah.
You just, as long as the guy that you're with works for the imam, it doesn't matter.
Yeah.
The imam can come by once a month. The imam could be like a bishop. I shouldn't say that, but functionally, your imam can just be like a bishop, and your imam probably doesn't know your name unless you are big at your anyway.
Yeah.
Which is also why it's so hard to do visit Makkah. Because one of the things the Saudis do is they're like, you have to have a letter from your imam. And if you're Shia, you ain't getting in. And if your imam's not on the list of cool imams who donate bigly, you're not getting in. And even if he is, you're probably not getting in.
I've always wondered what the political dynamic of the fact that it was like Saudi Arabia is. Like, I had to figure that really factors into it. And like, of course, it'll never be like its own Vatican City or whatever, because they're not letting that happen.
Yeah. The dynamic is us and our cousins can come and you cannot. And even then, there's still a stampede every other time, and they still put the world's biggest fucking KFC 30 meters away from the goddamn Kaaba.
One day they'll put it in the Kaaba.
Yeah, they're gonna replace God's own house with goddamn Kentucky Fried Chicken.
I just want some Kabbalah fried chicken.
Every time I go home, the highlight of going home is a chicken place. That's near where I grew up. It's so good.
Yeah. There's also types of Sufi. There's lots of different practices. Like there's like hair shirt types. Like I'm a hair shirt Catholic. Like I have a hair shirt. There's whirling dervish Sufis. There's dancing Sufis, naked
See,
Sufis, all
I
kinds.
feel like you're making this up, but I'm definitely not educated enough to tell you
I-
you're making this
Sufi
up.
whirling is a form of physically active meditation which originated among certain Sufi groups and which is still practiced by the Sufi
Yeah.
dervishes of the
Dan supporting you is not good evidence in my book.
motherfucker, Google.
Dan can say things that are completely 100% true, and it just makes me more dubious.
You gotta understand, they come from like the first Sufis were literally just guys who cut off their beard, shaved their entire body, and walked from town to town begging and pissed off the local bourgeois. Like Shia or Shia. Sufis are very fun, very based kind of idea. The only issue is that, like, traditionally speaking, nobody likes Sufis. Whirling dervishes were used in a couple wars as a thing, but it's like it's hard to be a mystic. Your church hates you, local people hate you, you get on everyone's nerve, and you stink. So
really, it's Rasputin. Everybody else hates you. You know, everybody else is hated. Rasputin was the one who kind of like he
well, there was Thomas Merton.
And for the record, Cenk, it's Google, motherfucker. All I did was Google whirling dervish Sufi, so shut up. Like, well, I don't trust
Again,
Dan's.
Dan, you can literally tell me that the sky is blue, and my brain is just like, you might want to double check that.
You might want to fucking remember that as the official theorist on the podcast, my ass, it is my job to be right. If I apologize to you, I do so with a heavy heart, but in the eye of the truth. Now, please swear your allegiance to Hezbollah, as I have said, as it is based. Please announce on this show very clearly with your law name that you are renouncing U.S. citizenship and joining Hezbollah. Please do so now. Please do it. Do it. Do it. Do it.
You haven't even gotten me to renounce capitalism.
Okay, now would Hezbollah allow a Jew to enroll?
You know, I think we'd have to make a really tough case, but we're also very good negotiators, so I think it'd be fine.
Well, they let if you believe certain people on Twitter, they let Brace Belden in. So
even if they did, that motherfucker rocks.
Dude, Shay's gonna do that. Actually, Shay's confided in me. He's gonna go join the fight with ISIL against Western imperialism.
Mm-hmm. Critical support from my buddies over there in Syria.
Okay, please don't say your real name. This is legally a joke. Cenk, if you decide to, again, birth name and that you're serious, renounce your U.S. citizenship. Please, no guests do that. That would be bad for us.
Now, actually, you can't. You cannot renounce. It costs money to renounce U.S. citizenship.
Hey, do not spite me. I will do things for spite.
No,
I
like
will
I'm
make
just
the
saying, it's
money
not
to
a
do this.
crime. It's just like nobody. Like I could go. I
It's
could
just
move
really
to China, walk into the U.S. embassy, and cut up my fucking passport in front of them, and nothing would happen.
Well,
They'd still send me my tax bill.
Yeah, I'm trying to get Cenk sent to Guantanamo. It's a whole thing.
Oh.
Yeah.
Because there were actually a lot of U.S. to Soviet defectors that notably tried to renounce U.S. citizenship, and the U.S. just wouldn't let them.
Oh, it's like
That's in the
2,500, isn't it?
Yeah, it is now, but it was more then. Or it was relatively more, yeah.
Wow, that's depressing that it's become that much harder to raise $2,500. That they could lower the price and it doesn't change a damn thing. God, we're fucked. We're so
Well, you want the secret, just don't pay your fucking U.S. tax. Like, if you don't register to vote, it's actually probably much easier. But just don't pay your fucking U.S. taxes. Who gives a shit?
legally again.
What are they going to do, extradite you? No.
Minecraft.
Over taxes.
Yeah, Minecraft.
Oh, that's the other secret. Don't ever pay tax. The IRS will never fucking know. Unless you're black, the IRS does not care, I promise.
Well, that's true.
I can tell you that is not true. I can be very clear about this. It is not true. They do care.
You got to understand. We actually, the reason Cenk is a reformist is because we picked him up from the libertarians after he got caught with his financial crime. You know that, right? That's how you become a libertarian.
Yeah.
Yeah, I can tell from my buddy's Gen X dad got a divorce at 50, and suddenly he just lost his shit about fucking like the government, like his exact property line and shit. And I'm like, buddy, come on.
He's just money laundering from work. I guess I'm a libertarian now.
I wonder if that's why when I was at the tax office, all those if all the people who came in and talk about how we were stealing people's land were just people who recently had divorces. I wonder if that's like a 1-to-1 pipeline.
It most certainly is. You know why they all scream the government's stealing from them? It's game recognizing game. If you commit white collar crime, you know how to identify white collar criminals.
Well, yeah.
That's what rocks. Hold on. No, this guy.
It's like all the right wingers that are like, well, the only thing that's stopping people from committing murder and rape all the time is the Bible. Obviously, if it weren't for the Bible, I would do it all the time. And you're just like, dude, really? Like that's the one thing stopping you? I commit white collar crime all the time, and therefore it's really easy for me to identify when it's happening. I assume everyone wants to commit white collar crime constantly.
That's no, like, have you ever seen those libertarians who go on like the Majority Report? Each one of them, if you Google them, they're always like, the fucking government is stealing. That's a fucking government overreach. And then you look at you just put in their name in Google and then put news, and like immediately you just find a rap sheet, and it's always white collar crime.
Man, people love at the school I'm going to. They can find your home address like just through the school database or whatever.
Oh, Jesus
and they
Christ.
and they love to like you're in an argument and they're like, oh my god, look at what your house costs. Well, joke's on them. We got ours at like the bottom of the 08 depression. It was a fucking foreclosure. It cost $130,000. Fuck you.
That is the scummiest fucking booze shit ever.
Yeah, exactly. Because it's also like nothing in anything says that matters. That's so arbitrary and like NGO nonsense. But whatever.
Yeah, that. Listen, if you need a couple people handled, I'm just saying. I'd like to go south. I'm tired of my allergies. I can help you with that.
Who the fuck is Ebert Beeman?
No, this guy rocks. We're not
Ebert Beeman.
Ebert Beeman. Yeah. He's
Lake Erie.
Yeah. He's from our state. He was running in the one election, and we facetiously backed him immediately as soon as I Googled this guy, his name is properly it's Ebert B. Beeman.
Ebert Bill Beeman. Wow. Yeah. Wait, question. Why the fuck? Why is there an Erie County, Pennsylvania?
Because we have
an Erie County.
Yeah, it's like.
Are you on Lake Erie?
Yeah.
Yeah.
That thing that if you look at our state, we have that stupid thing at the top.
What kind of godforsaken shithole? How the fuck do you have two coasts?
Pennsylvania has all the things.
Yeah.
Two coasts. You have Appalachia. You have the crown jewel of Appalachia, which is Pittsburgh. You have.
Thank you.
Philadelphia.
They're Steelers.
Yeah. Oh man, don't get me. My fucking sister-in-law is obsessed with the goddamn Pittsburgh Steelers. From Pittsburgh, moved down to the fucking South because it was cheaper. Fucking hate it. God-forsaken family. Listen, I like the Steelers when I was a fucking child. When I thought it as a child, wiped my ass as a child. I grew out of it. Why she can't? I don't fucking know.
Yeah, you're allowed to hate the Steelers. It's like there are a lot of Pittsburghers who do. The thing you're not allowed to hate around Pittsburgh is Heinz ketchup.
Heinz ketchup is delicious. It's good.
It's literally the only ketchup.
It's socialism.
Everything else
we're
is
keeping
tomato sauce.
Yeah, we're keeping that. After the revolution, we'll just keep it, and it'll be the fun thing we have for our fries.
I'm looking, and a bizarre amount of Pennsylvania is state forest, considering Pennsylvania's smaller than a dick.
Pennsylvania's fucking huge, dude. It
Wait,
takes you
it's a
like 5
tiny
hours to
state.
drive across the
Tiny
fucking thing.
baby state.
What?
Piss baby state, bro.
What on earth are you talking about? Like,
It's like square. It's not even that big. New York's bigger than Pennsylvania.
barely.
Hold on.
Just because it's long in one way, it's short up and down. It don't matter.
It's really not. It takes you a couple hours to drive up and down it too.
Does it? See, now
Yeah.
here's the thing. I've never been farther north
Well,
nor west than
The land area on Pittsburgh is like 300.
Nashville.
Hold on. New York State size. Let me look this up. I'm gonna look. Hold on. I'm contesting this.
I'm looking on Google Maps and just now realizing that Pennsylvania takes up the entire. How does it get to do that?
Because
It's
we rule.
really big.
Yeah.
Okay, we should give Delaware
actually
and New
about the
Jersey
same-
and Maryland.
It's actually
back
about
to-
the same size as New York.
Yeah. Not
Pennsylvania and New York are pretty damn close.
No, 46,000 versus 54,000. New York's got
No. The state of Pennsylvania is 116,000 square miles versus 122,000 square miles for New York. New York is only 5% larger.
the area.
Oh my god!
Yeah.
All
The
right,
total
here's
area.
Here's the.
46,055 square
Oh
mile.
my god!
You're looking at cities.
No, Pennsylvania area. I just put Pennsylvania. Hold on, Pennsylvania state size.
New York and Pennsylvania are around the same size.
46,055 miles squared versus New York's 54,556 miles squared. Again,
No,
goddamn
that's
Google.
definitely not correct. It's 116.
I literally
No, it's.
just Googled
I'm
it.
looking on
Google the
Google.
words
46.
land area.
So it's square miles. No one
It
says
still says
miles.
46. It still says 46,000
Yeah.
square miles.
We're smaller than New York. Hold on, what-
Again, not that much.
How could
smaller.
it be 100 and something? Like Montana's not 100 and something.
I'm using
bro.
kilometers. 116,000
Oh.
square kilometers.
Oh,
Damn
okay.
Damn it, I'll weep.
Are you using kilometer? Whatever.
All right, here's the deal. Here's the deal. Give Maryland to Pennsylvania. Give Delaware to Pennsylvania. New Jersey, Pennsylvania. Give New York, Massachusetts, Connecticut, and Rhode Island. Make one big Virginia that includes Kentucky and Ohio. Make one big Carolina that goes from the shores of Wilmington to fucking Arkansas. Everything south of that can be fucking Florida.
Yeah.
Consolidate the four in the middle, and the rest can stay as it is.
I'm sticking with Super Ohio.
All I heard was a bunch of revisionist nonsense. Okay.
That's power. Faith should be consolidated. Imagine one big Carolina. We'd be unstoppable.
That was just proven. No, there was a war about that. It didn't work. That didn't. Yeah. No, Montana's huge. 140,000 square miles.
Damn it.
Montana
Yeah,
is fucking huge.
Montana's obscene. It should be cut down. Why is Idaho shaped like it is?
'Cause Idaho
Let them
sucks.
have some fun. Let them have some fun with the shape of the states.
Idaho is a platform
Where?
issue. That is just stupid.
No, I have a really boring take on state shapes, which is that everything should be organized around how watersheds are shaped.
Amen. That's what
Better
Gary
than nonsense
Snyder
they got going.
says. Gary Snyder says every state should be the size of the biome.
Sounds like
Like
a fucking
Buddhist.
cartographer.
I mean, like,
talking
I'd be
over there.
Yeah, no, I'd be fine with like multiple watersheds being a state as long as like they're organized politically as watersheds. Like that would be, I would prefer to see that. Because
Yeah,
like
we
when
should-
you look at,
Go.
yeah, no, I was just gonna say like when you look at like the fucking census, metropolitan statistical areas, like we should just look like that pretty much
Mhm.
because we basically live around the watersheds and politically organize around the watersheds already anyway. It's just we don't formally do that because the people who like, you know, founded this country or whatever were colonizing maniacs who didn't have a concept of like how to organize political geography since the only people telling them to organize that way were basically Native Americans who were like, well, we do this. And, the colonizers were like, no, it's fine. You can't possibly be advising us well, even a little bit. So, no, that's probably how we should. If we were to ever have a mass reorganization politically, we should probably then administer it that way, I think.
No, New Jersey should belong to PA.
What?
Well, I
Delaware-
also think we should stop farming in California where there's no water, but there'd be plenty of water if we just didn't waste it all on goddamn cabbage.
Fact. Okay, Maryland and West Virginia should belong to Virginia. I'm willing to concede that, and so should Delaware.
Yeah, but there needs to be one big Carolina. It was one big
Fine.
Carolina colony.
Fine. I'm willing to accept
Uh,
that. In fact,
like,
you would
Island
have
Carolina
love
stretched
both.
all the way to the west coast.
I love both Carolinas
Yeah, bring that
equally.
Florida needs to be cut off right at the dick, and then Alabama.
Florida should be
needs to
renamed
you
in
know,
Spanish. Why does it get to be Spanish?
Pennsylvania needs to be divided into 3 different administrative states. Like, part of the northern part needs to go to like whatever becomes the new Amsterdam, mega New England. The western part needs to be part of like what the hell do they call it? The fucking Great Lakes region along with Ohio, and the southern part of it needs to be part of Appalachia, whatever. Like, it should be 3 different places.
Listen.
You need to think beyond just the state borders and be like, no, well, these states shouldn't be they shouldn't be the shape, period. Like, we shouldn't fucking have states organized this way, and it's like a travesty that it works that way in the first place.
Listen,
What?
I want you to be very calm when I say my next sentence, because I don't want to ruffle any feathers, but I know how much you love this particular area, and I don't want you to be
Mhm.
offended. We're just going to get rid of Maine. Canada can have it. They can have all our racists.
There's
Very-
a lot of great mills in Maine. I don't want to give those up.
No, we're just going to relocate those, and then we're getting rid of them. We're going to dump all
The
the
only-
racists there.
Only good thing about the Northeast is, damn it, they got some pogs and some mills.
You know, it's sad but true.
Turns on my predatory senses, I hate to say.
Holy shit. Yeah, no, I'm okay if we get rid of Maine. I'm not gonna lie to you. You can just have it. The fucking whatever this is, New Brunswick, fuck it. Now it's Maine. It's New Mainswick. I don't give a shit. Get out of there.
Thank you.
Yeah. Fucking garbage. Fucking Bangor, Maine. That place is a shithole.
Stephen King's house?
What's that?
Stephen King lives, Bangor.
Yeah, fuck him. Fuck him.
Maine is a scary place.
Thank you. You get it. Thank you.
There's demons up there.
They're,
Visit Maine. One of my exes went to Maine for 2 months, said it was awful, and she was like a ruddy-faced white woman, so I can't imagine.
yeah. If she had a bad time in Maine.
Yeah, I tell people, like, even if I go to Harvard for graduate school, Boston, that shit dangerous. I would not want to be caught at night in most parts of Boston.
Yeah. There's a part of it that's fine.
Yeah, part of it. Yeah, as
Yeah.
long as you're like, even then, don't be drunk.
Yeah. Don't do that. And really pay attention to the borders based on the alleys, because like one wrong step. It's Vegas is the same way, actually. If you're on the
You
strip,
get stabbed in Vegas?
oh fuck yeah. I'm really excited about that. If you're like on the strip, everything's cool, right? If you go one street off of the strip, and you're an out of towner, fuck you. You're fucking done, dude. You just got mugged. You basically walked, like, if you do that, you're basically being like, I have too much money and I would like to donate it to the local community. By force, apparently.
Listen, I'm gonna be honest with you, Dan. I am a 6'1" white presenting male. There are very little situations where I've ever felt uncomfortable,
Yeah.
and I'm pretty decently talented at talking to people. Like,
Yeah.
I have literally never been in a situation where I felt like I was in a bad part of town and I was unsafe.
Well, good news.
I'm
Looks
just
like
gonna
we're
be
going to
honest with
Vegas.
you.
Yeah, looks like we're going to Vegas.
And that includes the times I was in Vegas and just
Yeah.
sort of wandered around.
We're just dumping you a street off the strip about 2 a.m. We're going to see what happens.
Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah, the only time I ever got jumped, I was in like the quote unquote rich neighborhood, and like having entered like multiple fucking uh housing projects. Like, so my friend lived there, and I didn't really have a concept of the fact that like they could be dangerous. I was with my friend. We played a bunch of Battlefield Bad Company. I remember this
Oh,
very
yeah.
specifically.
Okay.
And I walked out, and there was fucking someone splayed out like right on the corner with like the ambulance just arriving, and that guy was dead. He had been dead, and neither my friend or I were able to discern the real gunshots from the virtual ones, which is why neither of us like even like perceived that had happened. And I was like, damn, oh well. And then I went home, and still was not physically threatened or in any trouble. But then fucking when I was a kid and I got some pizza in the nice neighborhood and the sun had just set, I got jumped for the pizza. So I don't know. I don't have any perception that these things are related.
Yeah, you'd rather get shot than stabbed, though, because we're really good at treating gunshots as long as you're still breathing when we hit you. If you're stabbed and they take that knife out, you're dead.
It ain't good. It's very hard to stop a puncture wound like that.
Listen, I'm gonna stick with my current record of not getting shot or stabbed. I feel like that's my most effective.
I
means.
also wouldn't recommend spray. What is it? Pepper spray. I wouldn't recommend that. You hit me with pepper spray, I'm gonna be angry. Just keep like a mace, like a pit, like
an actual like morning star.
Well, they make like small, like brass knuckles, but like a mace. That's actually better for you because you're not dealing with like the length. It's just your fucking arm fulcrum.
It's not bad. That's good advice. That's the kind of thing we like to bring here to the Sons of Tree Hair podcast live stream. Good advice.
Combat advice.
Combat advice: where not to go. Apparently, don't.
What's
go
the other thing? Oh, you can twist. If you twist a wrist with more than like 5 pounds of pressure, it'll break. And then the hand is unrecoverable. Every bone in that wrist will break.
Huh.
Okay, good to know.
I just learned something.
Sound like those kids who would talk about pressure points.
Yeah.
I did a lot of
it's way
martial
harder
arts.
to execute that in
I did a lot of
reality, I feel like.
Yeah, you only really if you can grab their hand, it's not like if you've never wrestled your cousins or something, you just grab your hand, and once you have control of like the palm of a hand, you just have their arm. Like,
Listen, once again, I am the largest person in the family. I have always been the largest of my siblings and cousins. I am Hispanic. They're all brown and half my size. Literally all of them. So even if they manage to get my hands, I'm 2 of them. I feel like it just has never worked out the way that you're describing for me personally.
Fair.
Well, that's the way you should judge everything, by your own anecdotal evidence.
Yeah. Does
It's the only thing I
Pennsylvania
got.
really rub
It's the only
Ohio?
ethical way to live.
That's
Yep.
fact. That's fact.
Does what now?
Pennsylvania rubs Ohio. I was obsessed with like the state maps as a kid. I would like put together puzzles and shit of it. Never really stuck in my mind that Pennsylvania touches Ohio and also West Virginia. That's so weird.
Yeah.
And all sorts
Virginia
of
is
other
a
places.
terrible
Weird
shape.
state.
West Virginia sucks.
West Virginia's great. It seceded from the South.
Yeah, let's go, West Virginia.
Proud of it every day.
It's not doing so good now.
It could be doing better right now. It's got some things going against it. It's like entirely engulfed by Appalachia. Like
Yeah.
there's only so much it can do.
It basically is just a mountain trail.
Yeah, we should have done the American Hippo plan. We should have flooded the American Midwest and made a massive swamp to farm hippos and hibiscus. And Wyoming would be great for hippos.
That's their state slogan right now, actually, and that's why they have the largest concentration of Karens.
My favorite thing. My
And
favorite thing
Texas
about
has the most hippopotamuses.
fucking Jim Justice, in the governor of West Virginia. He was doing a whole pitch to try to get people to move there. So they're going to try to give everybody a stipend, like $1,000 to move there. And then the other thing that he's going to do is he wants there to be 0 state income tax. He thinks that'll make people move there. And his key pitch, the entire thing that revolves around this pitch is that, hey folks, if we do this, we'll get the next Disney World to relocate here. Like the next time Disney wants to build a new theme park, they'll build it here in West Virginia. That's the whole fucking thing is predicated on the idea that they can do that. So I like to think that like that stupid fucking article in that Orlando what was it? The Orlando Sentinel, where the guy's like Disney's too woke or whatever. That's Jim Justice's pen name, because really he wants them to come there.
Wow.
They should. Why won't they? Why wouldn't they go to West Virginia's great. You can get to everywhere within.
Not going to build
8
it on a
hours.
mountain.
Yeah, but you can do that same thing by going to Delaware.
Top off all the mountains. Ain't no mountain got no top on it. It doesn't mind it.
It's hard to build on hills.
Put a hotel on one mountain, take a train, put the car park on the other mountain.
I can't argue with it. I mean, that sounds fun.
Say that. I mean,
That
like
sounds
our
fun.
family graveyard's on the top of a mountain that we just own collectively, and like you can't even drive up it all the way. Never could. You can't even like it's so steep you can't even mow it with a fucking lawnmower. Like it's fine though. It's useful. Like there's good land up there.
You just got to be a little crafty about it. That's all.
Yeah, you gotta go sideways.
You can use that to build a good roller coaster. Natural
Exactly.
incline of the hills.
Yeah, Disney could do a lot in West Virginia. They could get them the caves where we keep the government cheese, and you could go down 2,000 feet instantly. Pop your eardrums and everything else.
Fucking Mickey Mouse is just they just have all the Mickey Mouse players down there pretending to be getting the government cheese.
Reminds me of back when we used to think that if a woman ever went above 30 miles per hour, her uterus would immediately fall out.
Oh yeah, that's right. The '90s were a simpler time.
The 90s were when they invented boobs, but butts didn't come till the early aughts.
No, they didn't. The flat ass, big boobed white woman was a fucking staple.
Awful time.
That's when I came of age. I'll miss it forever. Just a woman with an ass smaller than mine, and just fucking quadruple F tits. She looked like the letter P, honestly. If she didn't have like everything above the boob, she was just a letter P. Like it was the height of sex. It's never coming back.
Never will.
Never will. That's
Good riddance.
stop. Just stop. We have a lot of fun here, but just no. It was an amazing time.
No, I
They were all just purely plastic. They were basically Barbie dolls with the heads cut off. That's what their body shape was. And you just packed modeling clay on the boobs.
Must have done a number on their spine.
Oh my god, yes. These women can't walk now. They can't sit or walk. Their hips are horribly displaced. Spinal columns are ruined. And it's just, they're all like that fucking orange that Trump wears. Like that came there. Like I don't know how.
Jim Justice is also the richest man in West Virginia.
Shay, I don't know how old you are. Cool, I know you're younger than me. Like, you can't possibly fathom how like that was the height of beauty. Like these just fucking fake tits, and the tit jobs were worse then, so you could like see the silicone underneath the skin. The tits were disgusting. The fucking
Shay hates tits. He's gay.
It's fair
Yeah.
enough.
I have to admit, I don't spend that much time looking at them, but
You know what? Though? You know what's comparable for Shay is how if you go back and watch like a gay movie from the early aughts, all the guys look awful. They look the same, and they're dressed.
yeah.
Yeah.
So yeah, I can kind of empathize with that because if you look at a gay porno from the 2000s, they all got like greasy hair and like
Yeah.
shark tooth necklace on.
Mm-hmm.
I'm just like, who was watching
Oh.
these?
Oh, the
This was
shark
the
dude.
height. This was the sexiest thing to imagine.
Yes. Yeah. Those were all our gay dudes. And mind you, like there were a lot of them who were dressing these women. It's in like doing the tit jobs. Like I'm honestly thinking that was like I think out of spite. Like if I have to look like this, you now have to look like this.
Sending
It was a
sending
culture of spite and malice.
the cover of Eating Out, the hit gay film from 2005, which has everything from 2005. It has dudes with peroxide tips in the
Yep.
aughts. It has shirt that is pre-torn for you. It has
Mhm.
copious amounts of feet. Weird body shape all around.
Mhm.
And also just a shitty font, and it's like subtitle is some guys will do anything to get the girl. One of them pretended to be gay and let his roommate suck him off, who was gay.
Wow.
Yeah, eating out, bring a big appetite. And it's
It was also shot in square. Like I don't understand who this movie was for because it's unwatchable today. It's square.
Every day you wake up and fail to consider the material conditions. If you were in 2005, this would have been the peak of art.
yeah. This was beauty. This was gay representation back then. This was like this was it.
He puts on like a pink shirt and he
Yeah, oh yeah, a straight dude calling his friend a gay slur and then putting on a pink shirt with frosted tips was like the highlight of solidarity with gay people for a heterosexual.
It's true.
Yeah, that was like wow, that was the equivalent of woke. It was a shitty time. It's obviously like it was just hideous. God.
Things rock now. We accept body types and everybody. It's great. I like it. I like it a lot here in 2021.
No, it's hell too.
it's hell. It's
great.
hell.
Great. What's wrong with it?
Ever been on TikTok?
Yeah, it's fine. I'm on. You gotta understand. I'm on lesbian alt farming TikTok. All I see are animals and tiny home lesbians, cottage core. I see cool stuff on TikTok.
I got the day that any love that I had for my generation died was the day that I got Uber canceled for shitting on the Amanda Gorman Joe Biden inauguration poem.
What? Oh, what?
Poem
You know what I'm
sucked.
talking about?
Oh man, we can't talk about that this time. But as a writer, fuck Amanda Gorman. If I ever catch her in the street, it's over. I'll go to prison. I'll go to prison.
Psych.
It's on. They're flighting it off. They're going full Norse on them.
Do you really? That is the most depressingly fucking awful thing ever.
Yeah. And I and it was so funny because I was on Twitter and Cool Zone and I were saying the same shit. And somebody said to me, they said, "Well, Cool Zone can say that, but you can't, Shay." And I'm like, "It's the same opinion. It's the same opinion." Like, oh my god,
that is peak woke. You're talking about that is essentially a brand choice, right? Whether or not you thought that was the appropriate thing for the brand to be doing.
Yeah, exactly. Like not fitting into that notion.
Yeah. And then like just being like, this shit sucks, because it did. I'm gonna say it, and I don't really care. And if you'd like, I can show you my white privilege card. I have one.
Not caring.
Yeah, thank you. Because I concur. That poem sucked. God, that was such melodramatic bullshit that only appeals to literally 50-year-old white women. Like that's who that was.
Yeah,
for.
and there was nothing of like character in it.
I'll tell you what. We're gonna wrap up the main show here. I'll tell you my story about that poem and that whole fucking parade from Twitter. I didn't get canceled, but I was like, maybe I need to not as aggressively associate with some people. So, yeah.
Oh my god, the people next door are fucking so loudly. What the fuck? I'm sorry if you hear this.
Do they sound like they're doing it right?
No, it sounds so. They're tiny twinks. I cannot express you. Tiny crybaby twinks. I hate a twink. Go ahead.
Oh, poor things. Yeah. So.
No,
Well, we're gonna wrap up. We'll take it to the after show. This is the cool thing podcasters do. You're not invited. I'm sorry. If you pay us, yeah, maybe we'll invite you, but probably not because we're cooler than you. So this has been the Sons of Trier live stream. You can check us out at facebook.com/SoTrierCast, twitch.tv/Sons of Trier, or youtube.com to search for Sons of Trier official because our channel fucking thing is long and I'm not memorizing that. Maybe for a bit. You can also find me and you can tell me I'm canceled for something, probably class reductionism, which I find to be hilarious. On Twitter at Ketzer, Ketzern. And of course, our guests here, they have a podcast. Why don't you tell people about it?
The Cool Zone podcast. We do what is it? Critical theory through a lens of history, and we like to go back and look at other so-called cool zones of history. You can find us on any podcast streaming service, Spotify, Apple Podcasts, your favorite podcatcher. We also have a Patreon if you're interested in that sort of thing. It's $2 a month for double the content. So look.
Ooh, you're undercutting us. We were gonna go at 5.
Hey, you got to be competitive. We did 5 and nobody wanted to buy it.
All right, so jot that down, John. $1.50.
Did we ever even do 5? I don't remember. Maybe we did. But yeah, $2
No, for $1.50, we'll give you $1.50.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
It's like that. I don't remember what it was. It was either like Dollar General or McDonald's or something. Didn't do any research on where they should put their stores. They just followed the other company. Like whenever a McDonald's showed up, Dollar General would show up not too long after because they figure if they could support a McDonald's, they could support a Dollar General.
That's.
I know Burger
It's
King
like
does.
fucking like it makes perfect sense, right? Like
It's genius. Way to save costs.
Yeah. We don't have to do the research because some other company is clearly doing the research. It's like
Capital
very
truly is
similarly,
innovative.
we don't need to research how much we can sell our Patreon for because obviously other podcasters have already done it, and $5 is just not cutting it.
You know, the worst McDonald's is McDonald's off the highway exit that's the only thing open.
Yep.
Nasty.
Since no one got my reference, I'd like everybody to Google the words $1.50 at some point. That's everybody's homework assignment for all of our listeners is to just Google image search $1.50. Just do that. Since no one seemed to have fucking gotten that I made a joke there. Whatever.
50 cent? What? $1.50?
No, $1.50. The words $1.50.
That's what I typed in.
Yeah, we just got ice cold $1.50.
That's all you get?
Yeah.
Is it?
Yeah, whatever joke you think you're making, it's not that
was
good.
a slur.
No one. No, I get the correct result.
Which is what the guy.
Why is my thing giving me the right? No, it's the fucking. It's basically the when they jokerify your face. That's what it is. That's the term for that. But it's no one fucking whatever. Doesn't fucking matter.
$1.50.
I got
When
a
they
song
cut
by
your
50 Cent.
cheeks out, Chief?
That's
Are you talking about when they cut your fucking cheeks out?
that's a.
Yeah, no, that's the term for that.
Oh, I see what you mean. I see the picture.
That's fucking.
Yeah. No, that's and that's been a thing since before the Joker made it a thing. I don't know if they got that from listening to 50 Cent. That would be very funny, but that because that's what the song $1.50 is about, is giving somebody $1.50.
Oh.
Yeah.
These are dumb references I learned growing up from living in the city, but whatever. Because that was the threat, was that you're gonna give someone $1.50. People would say that like all the time.
I'm just gonna do that to myself so I look like I fucking can win a fight.
Give yourself a teardrop
No,
tattoo.
It's a
Oh,
unicorn.
dude.
we should close out with you doing the white genocide Joker.
Start wearing Doc Martens and you can ladder lace. And if you ladder lace like I think red, it means you killed a cop.
Oh shit, yeah. I'll just do that and lie.
I ladder lace, but I ladder lace black, which means I have no affiliation to any of the other groups that ladder lace. I just like ladder lacing.
You know, that's very honest of you. That's very smart.
Well, we had to make the default black, or else a little alt kid would get stabbed all the time for not being straight edge or whatever.
Wouldn't that be fantastic? All right, good night, folks. Good
In
night.
America.
Not everybody.
Good night.